We begin on Low Ousegate, the shorter section of this historic street, which acts as the direct approach from the Ouse Bridge onto the eastern side of the river. The name Ousegate is significant, combining the river name with the Old Norse word gata, meaning street. This tells us this route has been a central artery since the time of Viking Jórvík. Look back at the bridge and down to the river. Low Ousegate was defined by its relationship to the water. Directly below us, on the riverbank, is King's Staithe, York's main commercial quay, where goods from the sea and the continent were unloaded. Low Ousegate was crowded with warehouses, taverns, and narrow alleyways, snickelways, leading down to the water. While the buildings you see today are mostly Georgian or Victorian replacements, necessitated by the rebuilding of Ouse Bridge and street widening in the 18th and 19th centuries, they stand on medieval plots that house intense trading activity. The street was historically very narrow. Major reconstruction efforts in the 18th and 19th centuries, particularly in the 1810s when the bridge was rebuilt, saw this entire block raised and rebuilt to allow for better traffic flow. As we continue our walk, Low Ousegate soon becomes High Ousegate at the junction with Gate and Gate. This marked the transition from the waterfront area to the established commercial zone. Historically, this was the home of specific medieval tradesmen. By the 14th century, High Ousegate was famous for its lorimmers and spurriers, skilled craftsmen who made and sold metal goods for horses, such as bridles, bits, and spurs. The shops on High Ousegate were therefore selling high-value, specialized goods, making it a prosperous area. However, it was also a dangerous one. A major fire in 1694 swept through the street, destroying around 30 houses. As a result, other than the churches, almost none of the buildings on this entire stretch predates 1700. On the north side of the street, dominating the skyline, is the magnificent All Saints' Church, Pavement. This church is inextricably linked to York's powerful guilds. The church is famous for its lantern tower, which, in medieval times, was deliberately left lit at night. Its light acted as a beacon to guide travelers and merchants coming through the vast expanse of the nearby forest of Galtrays to safety within the city walls. The parish of All Saints was historically the heart of the Merchant Adventurers Guild. The church's architecture reflects this wealth, particularly the beautiful 15th century stained glass and the ornate features within. This church, which is recorded in the Domesday Book of 1086, anchors the entire area, marking the division between the river routes and the core market area of the city. As High Ousegate continues, it flows directly into a street called Pavement. The name is a huge historical clue. Pavement derives from the Old French for paved street, suggesting this was one of the first areas of York to receive hard surfacing, an essential improvement for major market zone. From the medieval period, this area was known as Markets Higher, and it was the site of one of York's two main public markets. High Ousegate became the natural overflow for this activity. Imagine this entire space filled with stalls, crowds, and commerce on market days. The area was so important that it was also used for public pronouncements and, grimly, public punishments. Just a few steps from where High Ousegate becomes Pavement, the rebel Thomas Percy, 7th Earl of Northumberland, was executed on scaffolding in 1572. Our walk concludes where High Ousegate meets the junction of Pavement, Coppergate, and the wide Parliament Street. Parliament Street is a complete anachronism in this area. It was sliced through the dense medieval property plots in 1836 by an Act of Parliament, hence the name. Its creation was a direct attempt to modernize the city by clearing the congestion from the medieval market on Pavement. This final intersection demonstrates the final phase of the street's history, a medieval trading route so vital that it survived the Viking Age, the Norman conquest, and devastating fires, only to be fundamentally reshaped by 19th century public health and planning reforms.